we're on.
Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Ruben
from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, and
unintentionally still reliving Christmas. Whoops.
How was your break, mate?
It was good. It was good. Got to do a few things. The classic holiday things in Australian summer. Going for a swim, going for a cruise. It was good.
Oh, it's good to hear. I'm glad you had the break, mate.
Yeah.
While some of us were toiling away,
while the rest of you slaved over it. That's it.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that bad, but it was a good fun break, wasn't it? The weather was nice. Well, it was in Victoria. Anyway.
Victoria finally started to realise it was kind of summer.
Wouldn't go that. No, did we might have cracked 30, I think, somewhere around Christmas.
Yeah.
So, all good stuff. You caught up with all the family and all that?
Yeah, I did. So, went back to my parents' place. It was good stuff. Escaped the craziness of the city, which is always nice.
Alrighty, so we are back with a vengeance.
And actually live.
That's right. For 2023, as you'll see. We're still rocking the beard here.
Yeah.
So what's going on? It looks weird on my screen here because it looks like I've got all like brown and ginger here and all grey through here. So I've gone two-tone.
Yeah, I think someone made that comment. They weren't sure if you were stressed less, but they reckon some colour had come back to you over the break. You'd clearly relaxing too much, Michael.
This is the stress rising. It's just up to here. We're just about to go under again.
Oh dear.
Nah, all good fun. So, yes, we are back 2023 with a vengeance. Everyone, or a lot of people, will have seen the new website. We are easing into the website, so don't panic if you're looking at the website going, where on earth is all their stock? We're trying not to open the floodgates all at once. It's a gradual process, but we've started the upload now of more and more stock. I was just talking to Adam, who's looking after a lot of that for us at the moment, just before we came online, and he was saying there was 20-something silver items up now, and he was just working on putting some gold items up. So you'll see they'll start feeding through. It's mainly we're starting with the everyday basics that we know that we've got in stock. Not that we try to list things that we don't have in stock, but it's the stuff that we've got in stock, but it's also the stuff that we know that if something goes pear-shaped and accidentally someone's able to order more than we've got, or, the system allows something to go wrong, they're the items that I know that I can get more of fairly easily. The Perth Mint, kilo, silver bars, the locally produced bars, those types of things. You'll see the more unusual stuff start to roll out later on down the track.
You didn't want to put up a limited edition, once in a lifetime thing that then duplicates and everyone gets it for free. Yeah, that's probably best to avoid that.
That's the one. So don't panic. We are rolling more and more stuff out, and you'll see that coming. And I'm hoping. I'm not saying we're going to do it. We've had a lot of people asking about the auction tab on there. It's called
Live Auction.
Live Auction. That's right. We should change it to Auction Now, shouldn't we? It's called Live Auction.
The things you think of on the spot.
That's right. So I'm hoping like mad that we can make that active for the Friday live stream, and we can actually run an auction over the Friday and probably into the weekend. We'll find something special we can auction off just to trial the Live Auction tab on there, because a lot of people are keen to know how it works, us included.
The best way is by just giving it a whirl, I reckon.
Yeah.
That dog says, for our information, we have listed a 1/4 ounce gold Kanga underneath the platinum tab. It's leapt out of its paddock.
Yeah, great.
Jump the fence.
I will. Where's Adam? I will try and take care of that right now.
Oh, the live fix. Here we go. Solving problems left, right, and centre. And then even if you can do both, but when you're back from them, apparently the 1/2 ounce as well.
I'll update that right now.
Or at least message someone to do it on their behalf. The other thing there is when you get a second is BDK is wondering if we have any release dates out of Perth. Has that kind of stuff started?
Really?
No, I mean, has that kind of stuff started to flow through yet? Or
Perth Mint,
Perth back?
Perth, they shut down for the public holidays, but they never actually shut down over the Christmas break. So to say they're back, I think, is a stretch.
Yeah.
I think there's very basic skeleton stuff over there, but I don't think they are back, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I haven't received any notifications for new releases for this year at this stage.
They'll come back swinging as well.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Urban, while you're fixing websites, Urban wants to know if you'll fix some certain other competitors as well.
If you saw the stress of the last, several months, but particularly the last 3 weeks, I'm not looking at anyone else's website. In fact, I'm not going near when I can sign this off, so probably another month, I'm not going near a computer for at least a month. Gives me PTSD.
Back to pen and paper for everything. But besides, we had a couple of things that we needed to fix up. There's some things we still need to change and want to update and things like that. But overall, the reception has been pretty good. I've been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it has. And look, people have been pretty patient with us, both online.
So much.
And we're very appreciative of it, both online and also in the store. A lot of people would know that we were upgrading the whole back-end system, so it's a whole new computer system for everyone here. And it's certainly not up and running yet. The spare skeleton of it is, and we're coming to terms with that. We still don't have buybacks under control. I know that the computer requirements for that are quite high at the moment. We're trying to streamline that. It's taking us some time. But the basic skeleton's there, and then we're going to flesh it out over the rest of the month and into next month. So we incredibly appreciate everyone's patience on that. I know there's been a little bit of angst occasionally, but overall people have been incredibly patient with us.
I don't have this set up for something that we can do now, but I still wonder if we need to develop a kind of almost a forum or a place to input either feedback or bugs, because we've had some come through, and just suggestions and things like that. We're more than happy to take some of those now. I'm seeing a few roll through in
I was going to say Reese has made one that I'm trying to read quickly, but I'm not understanding quickly.
Someone else covered it, but actually mentioned it before as well, I believe. But basically, the idea is the comment is basically when you click on either silver or gold, it doesn't do anything. You have to then go down to a drop down to go all or coins or bars or whatever it is. And I think in an ideal world, and it's how it used to be on the old one, where if you would just click the metal, it would presume you were just after anything in that metal. Assuming that's something that it will allow us to do fairly easily, I think that's one that would be a nice little fix up as well. That would be good.
We'll get to it, hopefully. Apparently the website, the half-ounce gold kangaroo and the quarter-ounce has been fixed. So
there you go.
Look at that. We can do things on the hopper, Andy.
Herded back into the correct metal.
So g'day, Melbourne Stacker. He said hi there. There was one under BDK. As Michael looked at wholesale silver prices this week, he's seeing premiums dropping. It's early days yet. A lot of the wholesalers, traders, those types of guys that we deal with aren't back on deck properly yet. But having said that, the few that are, we are seeing, don't get overexcited, but we are seeing the premiums start to come back a little bit. I think I mentioned before Christmas, or it was in the Christmas break on one of the pre-recordeds I did, I mentioned that the Eagles price has come back a little bit on the premium. It's not a lot, but it's pointing the right direction, which I'm pretty excited about. So, yeah,
it's always good when it's actually heading better as opposed to getting worse, which is kind of a little bit how it was for a while.
Chun Tech Tongue, I've probably butchered that, mate. So I apologise. If you've got an urgent order in the system, I'm pretty sure it will be processed anyway, but we'll try and make sure it's ready. I don't know the order, so I don't know if there's freight on it, if that's what you're asking about. But if you're coming into the store, absolutely, we'll be able to have it ready. If it's a postage one, you might need to make me aware of it, and we'll chase it up and make sure it's getting out. It's one of the first cabs off the rank.
There's a comment there from Peter Grossme Guide, which was actually a comment we've had a few emails about, and I want to cover because I think it's an important one to go over, and that is in regards to the bulk pricing. Because as he's saying there, it was actually, the website, how good our old one was one of the main reasons, initial reasons I chose your company. So I hope the back end is good, and don't like the bulk pricing as low as bad.
I am. You would not believe how frustrated I am with that pricing.
Did you want to explain the problem, or do you want me to?
You might have to explain it because I might get beeped out on this one.
So basically what's happening is if you have a look at the moment on something like the kangaroos on our website, it is actually displaying just on the main page of Silver what the bulk discount rate is as opposed to what an individual unit price is. If you go onto it, it sorts itself out and it figures it out, but it makes it look like the price is lower than it is, and could be seen as a little bit of a misleading or a bait and switch, or just just from us as stackers as well. We have used other websites before, and it makes it hard to compare different places. If you want to see how we compare to somewhere else, it doesn't make it a fair. We've had people come to us with prices before saying, hey, can you match this? And there's been plenty of times where I've actually had to go, well, hey, actually, if you click on it, or actually try and buy that, you'll find that it's not. That's not just an individual unit pricing. Yeah. In saying all that, it is absolutely not something we are wanting for the website, and something we're not going, not wanting to move forward with. We are obviously, we're using other systems and things like that that may limit us, but we're going to try our very best and try and move forward past that somehow, because
I've spent the last 50 years whinging about websites that do that. I hate it. I think it's misleading. I think it's dishonest, and I think it's terrible. And now I have a website that does it, and I am really, really disgusted by it, because I agree with Ruben, with what Ruben said. It really is misleading, because that is not the price you're going to get it for unless you're buying 250 coins. It's not right.
Delita says as low as takes away the issue. It does to an extent, but it's
I still think
not,
it's dishonest.
Yeah.
I really do, and I don't like it. I thought it would be an easy fix when we first became aware of it. Apparently it's not. Apparently it's a setting within WooCommerce somewhere, and it's... I will fix it. It will be fixed. I don't know how we're going to do it, and I don't know how much time it's going to take, but I'm not having that up there. It's not right. So... we will fix it. Please bear with us. It's going to be a bugbear for a little while.
Yeah.
We are going to cop flack for it for a little while. I can't do anything about it for a little while. Hang in there with us.
Yeah. And, that's it. It's something we want to fix, but, thank you for bearing with us, and, that's it. I hope our indication and, our attitude of wanting to fix it and actually trying to is, an indication that we haven't just gone the way of everyone else that is already doing it.
I don't like it. I really don't. Anyway, let's move on, because I really do get upset about this.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pull up. I actually did have a couple of other the quick things that I wanted to touch that we had from some other comments and emails, just to try and hit a few bulk lots. There was a few people wanting to know about their 10-ounce cook orders for those that actually did manage to get one through the ballot. It was causing some issues because it didn't show up on their orders tab on the website, and that's because you actually had to sit there and manually generate them all.
Yeah, this is one of those idiosyncrasies. Are we dropping frames, or is it just my computer?
We may have dropped some there. It looks like it's stabilizing now. But
yeah, okay. Look, it's one of those unfortunate idiosyncrasies in that we shut the website down, the old website down before we did the ballot, and then we hadn't got the new website going until well after the ballot. So I had to generate all those invoices manually. And that means that they won't, at this stage, they won't show up on your website, on your web account. It is something that we will fix, but like that is right down the bottom of the list of things that we've got to fix first. So it will actually fix eventually, but it will be a little while. So you have to go by the manual invoice that I flicked out to you over that the day or whatever it was, the next day after the ballot.
Yeah. Yeah, we may have dropped some of that.
Sorry.
Oh dear, the joys of internet. It's still not better. Oh well. Reece says, I think everyone is just giving constructive criticism, so don't get too upset. We're not taking it too much to heart, but it's something that we want to, we wanted to make the upgrade worthwhile, and and a good update, as opposed to everyone going. So yeah, no, we're trying to take it all on board.
Yeah. And look, we don't take it, as long as it's expressed, politely, we don't take it offensively. We actually really love getting that feedback of, look, it's not doing this, or we'd like it to do that, or can you make it do this? That's how we improve. That's how we improve in the shop. It's how we improve over the phones, and it's how we improve over the website. So keep that feedback coming in.
Dead Dog wants to know if there's any update on the new website showing unallocated balances.
No, it's absolutely one of the priorities, but it's there are a lot of more urgent things in the system that we've got to sort out first.
Yeah, but we absolutely know it's something people are chasing. So yeah. I'm gonna stop me watching in the background and see if that see if that helps anything. The other one that cropped up a little bit was people wondering about PayPal. I actually mentioned this one to you before, and you kind of went, yeah, that was about the same reaction I got.
Yeah.
But the people want to know, Michael. So currently, it's not it hasn't been added back to the new website.
It hasn't, and that's in the short term. That's it's simplifying the reconnection of the website to our new back-end system. We didn't want too many variables with the feed, the data feed coming through. So hang on, I'm going to pause for a second because it's come up a couple of times. You will actually see, if you log on to our website for the first time, you will quite often get prices of 0 for things. Just hit refresh and it'll correct it all. It just seems to be that first login. For some reason, it doesn't seem to pick up the prices. I don't know why it does that. Again, they're chasing it in the back end. But so you'll see it 0, and then even if you go to click on to buy it, it won't let you buy it at 0. It'll update the price as soon as it goes to the next page. Right, PayPal. So it's been removed for now. It will get reintroduced, I suspect, very, very soon. As a longer-term statement, I would like the company to move away from PayPal, and I'd like to offer other options, because PayPal, it's not only expensive, but it's rife with corruption and very easy to manipulate around, and I don't like it. So, geez, I probably got myself in a legal trouble there, but I don't like it.
That's
for our company.
That's an opinion. You're allowed to say that.
So. Yeah, I don't know for how long we're going to keep offering PayPal for. It probably does. It probably does depend on customers. If there really is a huge demand for PayPal, we'll probably stick with it, because we try and do what people want. But I got to say, as the sucker at the end of the line here, the quicker we could get rid of it, the happier I'm going to be.
We're dropping more frames. I don't know if it's if the guys in the other office watching, everyone watching the stream or what, but it's killing me. Urban says, my biggest annoyance with the new website is everything is too expensive. I'm broke after Chrissy. The spot price has moved, and presents were bought, and yeah, that is the downside of this time of year. And it's funny you say that. I don't know if there's too much. So I'm not getting us into too much trouble by saying it, but it's often this time of year we do get a lot more buybacks. Yeah, so January at Bullion Now, January is known as buyback month, because we get heaps and heaps and heaps of buybacks, because everyone's getting their Christmas visa statement, everyone's getting the bill for the family holiday, everyone's getting they're starting to get ready for the back to school bill and the school fees and all that sort of stuff. So we get a lot of buybacks through this month. Violet wants to know, what is the deal? Have you put up your prices? I don't remember paying $48 for a kookaburra. Sorry, it looks like you're multitasking there. Sorry to hit you with questions. Yeah, no, that's all right. I'm just trying to see if I can unload the internet a little bit, so we stop dropping frames. So the question was, have the prices gone up? No, is the short answer. Have we put our prices up? Yeah. No. So what's happened is Spot has jumped quite a bit over the... I talked about it prior to Christmas and a little bit in the Christmas break as well. I released a bit of a video on it. Because of the lower turnover, if you like, or the lower amount of stock that is traded over that period, you'll find that any movements, any larger transactions are amplified, and you'll find the spot price will either move up quite a bit or down quite a bit. And we saw that happen over the lead into Christmas and then through the Christmas period, where the price of metals, both gold and silver,
and platinum to a degree actually increased quite a bit. Whether it holds on to that increase or not is a different argument. I suspect in the shorter term, as the Northern Hemisphere comes back to work, we're going to see some of that heat come out of the spot price, and we'll see the prices ease a little bit. But on top of that, we also had the Australian dollar ease over the Christmas period, and as I've keep banging on about, when the Australian dollar, for Australians, when the Australian dollar comes down, it drives the price of precious metals up in local terms. Like in local currency, it drives it up. So that's where you've seen those increase in prices. I was actually quite shocked when I thought we'd actually had an error in the website when I first logged in and saw the new pricing on there, and we chased it back and realised that no, it was just an increase in spot price over that period.
Marie's comment there, buyback month, every time I ask you have nothing in 1 or 2 ounce except silver kangaroos. It's a generalization we're making, but also anything that does get bought back is often the following customer. It's often the following customer that then sends it out.
Yeah, but having said that, I don't know if it's going to hit the web, so I'll be honest there, or the phones. But there is actually a number of there's more variety in the 1 ounce buybacks in silver than I've seen for a long time.
There you go.
Well, at least there was when I was in the shop about an hour ago.
Yeah, I was going to say
whether it's still there or not, it's a different matter.
That's an important thing there. Aussie Kelpie says, any word on when to expect 2.5 gram Lady Fortuna bars? And do we ever get 10 ounce koalas as buybacks?
I haven't seen a 10 ounce koala for years.
I haven't even laid eyes on one, let alone have one come through as buybacks.
Yeah. No, don't know. I haven't seen one for a while is the short answer, for quite a while.
What about the 2.5s?
2.5s, we will order them very soon. As I said before Christmas, we tend to, with our international orders particularly, we wind them right back in the lead up to Christmas because, we don't want them sitting overseas for extended periods of time, and that Christmas break just really knocks us around. So we'll start actually placing those orders again and getting them firing along. So you're not going to see them in January, but it wouldn't shock me to see them late Feb sort of time.
Emmett says, hey gents, Happy New Year. Will there be any half-ounce lunar rabbits in silver coming through soon?
Oosp. Adam asked me yesterday to place an order for the half-ounce lunar rabbits, and I forgot to do it. So, yes, there should be some. Perth Mint's actually got some arriving, or some back in stock. They've manufactured some over the break. So, they should, if you're pushing me, probably a fortnight, we should have them back in stock.
Cool. Scott says, I haven't received an email to say my payment has been processed or received from the weekend, which is unusual. I'm guessing there's a backlog from the holidays. What's the go?
There's a backlog, but there's also there's a back end, not issue, but we've paused the what do you call it when you compare one price with another? We're checking payments across.
Consolidating?
No, it's not consolidating. It starts with C, and I've forgotten now. But it doesn't matter. It's old man syndrome kicking in. The price check, if you like, or the payment check isn't currently occurring automatically. It's having to be done manually. So it's taking quite a while for those things to go through. I'm hoping that will be resolved within the next couple of days. So we'll probably find there's a whole flood of emails go out in the next couple of days.
There you go. Are we getting any more of the 10-ounce cooks? We hinted potentially last year that after the ballot we were going to try and chase some. Are we still chasing?
I'm fairly sure I've secured a small number.
There we go. All right. Well, hopefully they'll come through soon and we can actually see how many we got. That'll be good. Chai says, constitutional 90% silver is very popular here in the US. Is old junk silver a popular item in Aussie land?
No,
but yes.
Yeah, that's right. Look, it's not as popular as it is in the States. There's issues with it over here. One, we don't still find it in our change, whereas you can find the junk silver in the US in your change still. So that adds that extra incentive. It's pounds, shillings and pence. So it's not pence or pounds. It's just the shillings and that. So it's kind of not part of people's psyche over here. We also have issues with it in that some of it is 50%, some of it is 92.5% sterling. So there's that problem in it. Actually, I said it wasn't pence, didn't I? It is pence.
Yeah, that's all right. I was living you go.
Yeah, the other problem with it is in this country, if you buy it from a dealer like us, technically not technically, it's incurs GST, so it adds an extra 10% charge onto it. So it's not as popular as it could be. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Reese wants to know how the auctions are actually going to work. Well,
we're actually not sure.
We'll find out. I mean, the general idea is, we'll start it off at a low price. I was going to say spot, but I haven't actually confirmed.
I want to start them off at $1.
There you go. All right, start them all off low, and then we'll see what these things are worth. And it's kind of a fair as possible way as we can think to do it. Because
reconciled. That's the word. Thanks, Reese.
The one that starts with C.
Yeah, that's
the one.
right. What's got a C in it? In fact, it's got 2 of them in it.
Oh, dear. Stephen wants to know if we ever did the video for thoughts for the price of silver in the new year. Did it ever go up or did I miss it? I think I put that up.
I don't think you did.
I thought I did. It was set to. I don't know if it actually automatically fired off or not. If it hasn't, you have my apologies. I potentially could release it now, but I may get shot for everyone saying, "Oh, next year? What? We're already in the new year." I don't know.
I think it proves me right. So get it released.
If it hasn't gone up, my apologies. I will go through and check that after the stream.
Aussie Kelpie, I'm hoping, I'm not guaranteeing, but I'm hoping the first auction will occur during the Friday live stream. My intent is to run it for the weekend, so don't stress. If you can't make it for the Friday live stream, watch the Friday live stream over the weekend and there'll be the links to it and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm hoping. And just, I said before, I don't know how those auctions are going to run. We're going to, the type of things we're going to list usually at those auctions is the one-off items we get in the store that, they're too good to just chuck into a general mix. They might not be pure. They might be a proof. They might have, we had one through a little while ago that had some precious gems mixed into it. It's those types of things where you kind of go, well, this is really cool. It's too cool to get melted down, but it's not worth so much money that I can pay someone hours to, take the photos and write a description and create a specific listing for it and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be those oddities, those really cool, weird things that we get through the store where we go, this is fantastic, but what the heck are we going to do with it? We're going to auction it.
Is the idea that they'll be able to enter a bid on the website? Reese wants to know.
That's my intent.
Yeah.
Look, from our management perspective, what I'm hoping is that I can hand it to Ruben. He puts it on the turntable and, takes a 30-second footage of it spinning around so you get views from all sides. We throw it up on the web with a basic, this is what it is, as is, where is, and people go for it from there because we can't spend hours, and this is what happens with these sorts of things, where if we advertise it, people go, oh, can you take a photo of it from on top and win this light and that, and does it have this and does it have that, and and then when they buy it, they go, well, hang on a sec, I didn't see that it had this microscopic hairline scratch along the bottom, and it's just one thing after another. These things are going to be as is, where is, we're just unloading them, and if we get, we list a kilo gold coin on there and it goes for $1, well, you just scored a bargain.
We're hoping that the that's it, showing the video and things like that will be a good way of actually highlighting some of those, the actual condition of it and things like that. So you're not stuck with like a stock image or something like that to go, well, I don't actually know what this is going to look like, or, so yeah.
That's exactly right.
Mitch has got an idea there regarding the bulk prices. So what about listing items in a single buy price at below the bulk quality amount available and then have a separate item for bulk pricing, at least temporarily to make it clear that that's not what we're...
Yeah, the trouble is with the kangaroos, you'd have to have 4 listings or 5 listings.
Yeah, like a breakout one.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you it confuses the heck out of everyone, and we'll get 5,000 emails saying,
probably, I
wanted 50 at this price, and you've charged me the single unit price.
Steven says, gold for $1, I'll take it. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with an auction is you might, but then someone else will go, well, I'll take it for 2. And then someone else, I'll take it for 3. And so it begins.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Someone wants to know if we've given up, sorry, it was Urban. Have we given up on getting 1/10 silver?
No, I haven't given up.
It's been too long, Michael. You're stringing them along.
That's right. Look, these things, they sound really easy in principle, but actually finding them, securing them, getting them imported and then getting them listed, it's not as simple as it sounds always.
A couple of questions there. Wondering when, specifically the kangaroo, someone's asked, is going to feature the king. Is it likely to be on the kangaroo gold coin for this year?
For this year, no. I'll be very surprised if they do it for this year.
Well, that's it. They've put out the kind of the celebration design.
That's what we're going to get.
Yeah. So I would very heavily suggest that. I would suggest
that other than one or two that they'll do as specials, that will be the design, the obverse design for 2023.
Yeah. And that'll carry over to the silver as well for the person asking there as well.
Yep. Lee, we do have 1 ounce AU in stock, so 1 ounce gold bars in stock.
Samantha wants to know, why is gold and silver only ever 4 nines? Why not 100%? What is the other 0.01?
It could be anything, but it's usually a trace element of something like copper.
Yeah.
It depends what it's been purified with. It's people get wound up about what the 0.01 is. It doesn't really matter. It's as pure as you can get. Everyone recognises it. It's like in the days where we used to have 3 nines gold. You know, people go, "Oh, what's the other 0.1?" Well, it doesn't really matter. It's considered pure gold by everyone in the market. It's not missing anything.
Robert wants to know, does the XRF detect, now I've got to count these, they've actually put 6 nines. Does the XRF detect 6 nines gold? It could be 5 4, or does it show up as 4 nines?
Is anyone doing 6 nines?
I don't know, but let's take it as Canada's 5 nines for a second. Can an XRF tell the difference between a 5 nines product and a 4 nines product?
I would hazard to say no, it can't.
Yeah.
Certainly the current ones don't. They obviously have ways
have to be
of telling
some way, because they're then putting that out and saying, yes, this meets X standard, but
I don't look the I know it sounds like a lot, and no, look, I know it sounds like a lot, but the difference, think practically, the difference between 4 nines gold and 5 nines gold is such a minute amount. Like, we're getting wound up over nothing. I'm not going to upgrade the XRF to a $200,000 XRF just so I can detect an extra 0.001. Hang on, is that right? 0.001. Yeah. It's just not. It's not worth it. So no, don't worry about it.
That's the long and the short of it. There was a question here I was scrolling back to look for from Peter Grace Me Guide. My son wants me to buy some omnium. Can you source it? You're the metals man, Michael.
Off the top of my head, no. I'm sure we can, but I got no clue.
Oh, SDI Custom raises a good point. You get 100% of spot at Bullion now. They aren't paying 99.999%. That's a good one. I like that. We're rounding it up for you and giving you 100% of spot, not 99.99%, so it's fine.
That's right.
I like that. Oh, dear.
Imagine trying to pay 5 nines, like 99.999% of spot. Man.
It's not worth it for the maths involved for the amount. Are we going to get rhodium in?
We have rhodium in right this minute.
There you go. Why doesn't it, or why hadn't it? It might be something we're looking at changing, but is there a reason it didn't prominently feature on the website or anything like that?
Yeah, the old website, we couldn't. I don't like saying couldn't because you always can, but we couldn't get. It was very, very difficult to get a live rhodium price feed, and that was always the big concern. Was that? And I'm not. I got to say, the people that come in to buy rhodium, more often than not, I manage to talk them out of buying rhodium, which is, I make a terrible salesman. I talk people out of buying things. So, yeah, that was the main reason, though. It was too hard to get a live and too expensive to get a live rhodium feed.
But we've got one now. It's likely to be.
I want to say yes, but I can't say I've gone back and looked at it. But I'm fairly sure we have. Yes.
Fair enough. There was another one there from Michael. Where was it? I wanted to. Hi, Michael. I purchased something over the phone on Monday. I haven't received an invoice yet. Is there a delay on invoicing? Don't just
Poor
laugh.
Con.
You can't just laugh at these questions.
Oh,
Michael.
poor Con. We threw him in the deep end on Monday.
Oh, just Con.
Well, you hid in the studio.
just for Monday.
I didn't see you raise your head at all.
At least Monday I hid away.
So Monday he madly took notes all day and he's catching up on sending out those invoices. So look, if you haven't received the invoice by now, I was talking to him just before I came onto the stream, and he'd almost caught up. So if you haven't received the invoice by the end of today, just drop us a line tomorrow and just say, Con, any chance you could send me that invoice with the updated pricing if you'd agreed on a price, because I think the price has eased a little bit since Monday. So yeah, just give him a poke tomorrow.
Adam wants to know, he's mentioning the L words. My powder is dry, ready for Libertads. Any idea when they will arrive?
I haven't even committed to us getting them yet.
When will they arrive, Michael? You kind of hinted very strongly at some stage, although there's still this mystery delivery that you told me about last year that I still actually don't know what it is.
Well, that's because 9 boxes of it are stuck in customs somewhere.
That'll do it.
I'm not giving an answer to that question because I actually don't know yet.
Yeah, okay. It's something we want. I think that a lot of people will go, they just don't want to get them in. We'd love to get them in. That's something you have to keep in mind. Is we know they're popular. We would love to get them through, but they only make so many of them, and they're kind of sold before they even start thinking about the other side of the world. the rest of us over here, it's like, oh yeah, Australia. Huh.
BDK, if you want tax-free 22 carat gold, take it overseas. Because you can claim the GST back as you leave Australia.
Got to buy a plane ticket there.
You got to buy the plane ticket, but you can claim the GST back as long as you bought it. I can't remember now. It's 28 days or 30 days prior to departure. You can claim the GST back.
SDI Custom wants to know if Little Coin Shop is getting opal rabbits next week.
Yes to the first half of that question.
Until I said next week.
I've seen Perth Mint's, or I'm experiencing Perth Mint's current shipping schedule. I'm not guaranteeing they're going to arrive by next week, but they are definitely getting them.
There you go. Urban Winston is asking about the Creatures of the North. It's officially 2023, so the Creatures of the North has officially ended with 2021. I thought it was a biannual release.
Okay.
But then there was like some weirdness where they had a 22... Yeah, it was kind of a little bit all over the place.
Let me make a public announcement. I am not answering any questions to do with the Royal Canadian Mint from now on.
Why?
Because they don't communicate with us.
Do we try to? Do we ask them?
What do you want? Smoke signals? I'll take anything out of them.
We like that series. It'd be good if they could keep it going. I thought it was a biannual release, although there was some weirdness earlier on. So it wouldn't shock me if sometime this year they still came out with something. But I haven't heard anything, and neither is Michael by that reaction. Michael wants to know what type of rhodium we have. I would like to buy 1 gram of it if possible. I don't think we have it in grams. I think they're quarters.
No, they're half ounce. Oh, they're quarters, are they? I thought they were half ounce.
Halves or quarters?
I think they're half ounce bars. Baird bars. They're half ounce Baird bars.
There you go. STI Custom wants to know the best method of actually securing any of those opal rabbits. I sent Katie an email, but I know it's bedlam. Am I best off ringing?
Please don't ring, because currently the phone number is going to a phone that I'm meant to answer, and I'm not answering that phone. I haven't got anywhere near it. Yeah. So I suggest ringing's not a great idea.
Email kind of locks it aside and puts you kind of in a queue of of the order. So I think that's probably your yeah.
If you've ordered the way Little Coin Shop works is quite actually similar to Perth Mint with their wholesaling, in that if you've ordered that kind of opal, if you'd ordered the opal tiger off them or the opal ox or anything along those sort of lines, they tend to and then say, look, I'd really like the rabbit. I'd really like the rabbit. They tend to favour those sort of customers, the returning customer on that. So if you've ordered them before and you've sent in an email, I'm 99% sure that you'll get them.
BDK says, I love 2 ounce coins. RCM do a great job minting them. We're not disputing that for even a second.
Yeah, look, RCM, the Royal Canadian Mint, they are one of the premier mints in the world. when it comes to their coin production. I have some other issues with their treatment of them after they produce them, but their maples are first class. They're a lot of their other
even a
productions.
lot of that though, just to defend them slightly, is just because we live on the other side of the world.
Oh no, mate!
No?
The goose is inexcusable.
All right.
That was a handling issue. So, look, but the product they produce is world class. Like, it's right up there. It's just that they don't tend to communicate very well with the outside world as to what's coming and when.
Another problem from the website. All my previous orders have had GST added to them in my order history.
It shouldn't now.
And there is also another, I'm not sure if it's been brought up, but there was another one I wanted to mention, and that is some previous orders reflecting as quite significantly lower prices.
Yeah,
$1.10
or something an ounce.
I was going to say $1.10 because that's actually the only one I've seen, but I wasn't sure if there was some other ones.
No, there was lots of them that apparently everyone bought a lot of product at $1.10 an ounce.
Yeah.
Look, they're glitches in the system. We're catching up with them. When we first, I don't know if people were watching, we released the website a day before we actually released the website, or 2 days before, and it was up for about an hour when we realised that it was adding GST to absolutely everything. We fixed that problem. I'm assuming that it's fixed all the order histories on that had the GST added to it. If it's still adding it, let us know and I will chase it up again. But I was under the impression that part of it had been fixed.
James says, Happy New Year. Heads up, in a previous stream, there was a question about quarter-ounce silver Britannias. These are available on the Royal Mint website. Does that mean we can potentially get some through?
Well, I can ask the question.
Fractional silver is always cool.
Yeah. STI Custom, I love you.
Michael wants to know, can you sell gold from controversial countries such as Iran and Russia? I've heard that they can't sell Iranian gold in the USA due to sanctions.
Hang on, are you asking if I can sell to them? Or
I think
because the short answer is no.
Sell gold from. So if we get a coin or some bar through that is very clearly Russian gold, for example.
Yeah, no, we can. So long as we can't support trade with Russia. Okay, our country currently our country has decided to. There'll be fancy terms for it, but effectively blackban them. We can't deal with anything from that perspective. But if you walk through the door here and you're selling your collection of Russian gold coins, there is absolutely no reason that we can't buy that from you. You're Australian, we're going to take ID, all that sort of stuff, and we would then sell them. We had a special a little while ago for palladium, I think, weren't they? Yes. Russian palladium coins that we did?
The ones I've seen a lot of, and that's it was in those palladium ones, but also I've seen them in gold and even some copper ones that I've just seen out and about. They did some ones for some of the Olympics, and I actually really like them.
Yeah.
I'm actually not a massive fan of some of the Olympic coins sometimes, just generally, but I actually did kind of like the Russian ones, to be honest.
So, look, we can deal in, but we can't deal with, if that makes sense.
If BN wasn't a GST registered business, would you still have to charge GST on certain metals, or does selling said metals mean you have to be registered for GST? So something like palladium or rhodium, if we weren't registered for GST, would we just not be able to sell them? Or
no, we could still sell them, but the problem is we couldn't claim the GST credit. So the way the GST system works is that I buy that item off the wholesaler. The wholesaler charges me GST, and I pay that to him or her, and then I add my price and I sell it to you, including GST. If I can't claim that initial credit back, I'm having to pay that whole chunk of GST. So let's say it's $10 out of the... These numbers don't actually work, so don't do the maths on it. But if it's $100 item...
Don't check me.
Well, if it's I'm trying to use round numbers to keep life easy.
I'm stirring.
If it's $100 item and it's got $10 worth of GST on it, I have to pay that. If I can't claim the GST credit of $9 from that I've paid the refiner, then I have to pay that whole $10 to the government. If I'm not registered for GST, I can't claim that benefit back. So the government gets it one way or another. They either get the $9 from the refiner or they get the whole $10 from me. That makes sense, or did I just confuse that even more?
We'll find out in a second, I think. Sounds like there is still some issue with GST and odd amounts in previous orders. So Yeah, not yet fixed, but hopefully at least one step closer.
Yeah, okay.
Also, it looks like there's some 1/10 gold Brits going around.
Yes, there is.
We getting any of those through?
Yeah, look, the intent is to bring them in. Absolutely. We dropping frames again?
Not according to my end.
Oh, okay.
So, we are. Well, yeah, we are now. Thanks for summoning those. It was going just fine before you mentioned it. If we're back and people can hear us, James is talking about the Ram Lunar Rabbit. It's an excellent design, on par with the Perth Mint.
Sometime this week, you will see 1 ounce gold Ram Rabbits released, and I think that in our future, if I gaze into our crystal ball, I'm pretty sure I see some silver ones in our future as well coming in.
The BN crystal ball.
That's right.
Oh dear. Yeah, there's some people saying as well, still about the GST.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a GST gremlin still playing up in the back end there, so we'll have to find it and shoot it.
Yeah. As far as I know, it is. I actually haven't checked this with you before mentioning it. Do we still have access to the invoices with proper amounts and what they were needed? Yeah.
No, we still have full access to everything, and we will do. I think I'm required to for 7 years.
Yeah.
So absolutely, the data is all still there. Don't stress. Even if the whole, please Lord, don't let this happen. Even if the whole system crashed, we could recreate it. We have all the data there.
You're talking about please don't things crash, and I think we dropped frames right at that point.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. You got to specify what you're talking about dropping there. Ay. It was getting better for a bit there. We had a nice little streak. No, we're not selling the crystal balls. Oh dear. Let me see if there was anything else on my list of questions here.
Yeah, what's he trying to get me into trouble for now?
Okay. No, we covered all those. There was a couple of emails, but I wanted to kind of make sure I'd kind of properly gone through them. And we will, so long as we're actually doing one on Friday, I'd like to go through them on Friday with you. So yeah, if you've sent an email to the live@bullionnow.com.au address, haven't forgotten about it. We will go through them, but on Friday at this stage. Yeah, it'll be good to do a Friday live stream. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely looking forward. Believe it or not, I actually said to my wife over the Christmas break, I'm actually missing the live stream, and I didn't think I would. So,
all right. Everyday prospect and carry on. From a business perspective, how does Bullion Now make money from the allocated system? I'm not sure if they mean the allocated or the unallocated.
Unallocated is what they're referring to there. The allocated system is easy because we sell it at a price above our wholesale price. So, that's the allocated system. That's the stuff. Let me go back one step. So the difference between an allocated system and an unallocated system or pooled system is in allocated, are we dropping frames again?
No, I think we're fine.
Okay, so under an allocated system, if you buy a certain bar, a kilo silver bar, and it has a serial number on it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you deposit it in our allocated system. You come back 10 years later and say, I've got a kilo bar in your allocated system. You will get that exact bar back. It'll be bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The unallocated system is where you aren't actually specifying what form that metal is taking. So you can say, I've got an ounce of gold in your unallocated system, but you don't specify what that ounce is. So it could be made up, it could be a 1 ounce, it will be physically backed. Let me be clear about that. We will hold it physically. But it could be a 1 ounce bar. It could be backed by a 1 ounce coin. It could be backed by 2 half ounce bars. It could be backed by 10 1/10 coins. It could be part of a larger kilo bar of gold that we've got, and we've collated 32 different 1 ounce orders and backed it with a kilo bar. So it's stored in whatever form of metal that we wish to store it in at the time. Now, you're only paying spot for it, so you kind of don't care. So long as it's backed, and it must always be backed, you don't care what form it's backed with, so long as it's backed with the correct weight in the correct metal. Now, when you come to claim your unallocated back, you're going to claim it one of two ways. You're either going to sell it back to us and take the cash, or you're going to want to take it out as a physical item. So when you come back, you buy it, you come to us and say, look, I've got an ounce of gold in storage here. We say that's fine. The ounce of gold today is worth whatever spot price is. So let's say when you come back in, spot is at $3,000 an ounce. So you say, yep, I want to cash it out. I want to take the cash. So we pay you $3,000 less a $30 fee. So that's how we make a profit out of it, if you like, is when you convert it over into either cash, in this case, where we retain $30 of that growth. And that doesn't matter if you've held it for a day, a week, a month, a year, or a decade. It's still going to be that $30 an ounce.
I don't know how much of this they're getting. We're dropping quite a few at the moment.
All right. You want me to stop there then?
Probably a good idea, because I think we'll get a whole bunch of messages saying, yeah, we didn't actually get any of that. So
Yeah.
we
All
might.
right. Ask the question on Friday when we've sorted out the glitching issues.
Oh, yeah. It'll be sorted Friday, will it, Michael?
Yeah, well, you tell me it will be.
Internet, I don't know about. I'm waiting on a different fix for that.
Yeah.
It reminds Aussie Kelpie of
Dial-up.
of dial-up or wireless NBN. Yeah, arguably sometimes not as good.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something, because if this is the best we can do for 2023, we might as well give up now.
Yeah, it's not a great start, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
All the metals at BN must interfere with our Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's what it is.
I think we probably need to draw it to a close there. I don't think we can keep dropping frames and keep going.
Not this many, no.
So I apologise for our technical issues. It looks like our website is not the only technical problem. So yeah, apologies for that. We will be back in action on Friday at 2:30. So that will be Friday. Ooh, it's Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
So there you go. We'll do a Friday the 13th a live stream. It will occur at 2:30, and I have no idea who's going to be here for it. We've got a couple of guys that are still on extended holidays. And then, we'll see who else is around and how busy we are. But it will be a good live stream, I will guarantee you that. We will also, hopefully, we'll be able to do the live auction. We'll kick it off during that live stream. So there'll be the whole explanation